I'm so curious where this is going.
I'm driving
Okay.
and I'm hitting potholes.
Not any potholes around here.
There,
Not any potholes around here.
I need a
Not
theme
in my
song.
neighborhood.
I need a theme song for the potheads, your pothole control group. You know,
Hey, we are hitting
the
victories
potholes.
left and right.
You're hitting victories.
Not potholes.
You shouldn't be hitting
Victories.
victories. Oh, interesting.
That's what
You're
I'm
running
saying.
into victories.
Yeah.
Well, you did have a big week on the pothole front.
And see, this one was not a local situation. This involved the State Department of
Oh, man.
Transportation because
Wow.
there is a strip of highway near our house. It's actually a toll road. But because this has happened in the past, I've learned that it's not controlled by the toll road and it's not controlled by the city. This little strip of like 3 miles is controlled by the state.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to reach out to the state about this pothole.
Yeah.
And I did it in January.
Yep.
And then we had these really bad snow days. So I'm like, okay, understandable. They were busy
Mhm.
keeping our roads safe. We got shut down for like 3 days. And so, or 4 days. Yeah, it was a while out of school. So I reached back out again, like, hey, I messaged about this 2 months ago. Nothing's happened. And they responded and said, oh, we'll send somebody out. Well, then
And
2
then what
weeks
happened?
went by.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
drive by it every day, and it was a bad one.
You
'Cause
drive by it or drive?
they had fixed it. Well, no, I avoid that lane because I know it's there, but it's a tire killer. It's a rim killer. And I was driving, and I see it every day because I that's on our way
You
home.
traverse that.
And knowing that it
frequently.
had previously been repaired and like
Mhm.
failed, and so I reached out and I said, "Hey, it's been 2 weeks since you said you'd send somebody out, and I haven't seen anything." And then yesterday, it was repaired. And
You're saying this like a point of pride.
I really am. You're the one who tells me like, "Hey, will you call about that one? It's really bad." Like, and then I do, and
When
then
they're
they
in our
make fun of me.
neighborhoods,
Like
it's different.
people, I drive it every single day. Our son drives it every single day. Like it is on the on the way.
Did it warrant 3 emails and a phone call?
Did it get done?
I mean, I guess.
I don't think it warranted that many, but they should have taken care of it the first time or even the second time. I gave them the snow day, but
Potheads don't
we
strike again.
succeed again. We continue to
You
win.
keep rolling.
We keep rolling with good tires and good rims
Potheads
with
keep
no
rolling.
issues. Yeah. I was
Wow.
very excited about it. But I was driving our younger son home and I was so excited and he was like, oh my gosh. I mean, just like so embarrassed. There wasn't even anybody around for him to be embarrassed of me. So then we had to call you because I said, well, maybe daddy will be excited with me. And you got excited. And then you chose our podcast to make fun of me. So thank you
I'm
for
just
that.
so proud of you, sweetheart. You know, it's the little wins, it's a little thing.
I'm still convinced it is people like me and the fellow potheads that make the world go round. Are the ones that make sure things stay in repair.
We need shirts.
Yeah.
Potheads, we keep it rolling.
uh,
Roll it up.
people might get confused. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
But
Cross-branding
yep,
opportunity.
victory again. So
Congrats,
thank you.
I suppose.
I feel good. It feels good.
I guess, you know what, when Stella's in the car, she won't feel that bump, so it is kind of a win
Oh, it's
in that way.
totally worth it then. Great.
Okay.
That's what I do it for.
Mm.
Welcome to our next chapter, the
Welcome.
podcast. I'm Andrea.
Podcast. Does we have a game or a movie?
Maybe.
We should have like, yeah, the game.
Not yet.
Movie.
Maybe our book will be called Our Next Chapter.
The cartography.
The book.
Because you have to traverse the podcast. No, that's not a thing. No.
I'm Andrea.
Oh, I'm Matt.
And we are
Hmm.
a married couple.
How long?
Who have been together all our lives.
Ugh.
Our whole life long.
Our whole
lives long. We have almost grown boys, and we started finding ourselves a little more free time and reading romance novels. And so we decided to try writing a romance novel. And this podcast is the documentation of the journey of writing that novel. And it has grown and expanded to all kinds of fun games and author and book spotlights, and now interviewing authors, which is one of our favorite things.
Yeah.
We get so much good advice, and we can't wait for you to meet our author today, our guest. But yeah, thank you for joining us.
We should write a book
journey.
about our interviews.
There we go. Our next chapter, the book.
The game.
See? Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can make like a CD-ROM game. for Windows
That'll go
95.
over well, yeah.
Is that not a thing anymore?
Yeah. But
Our son asked me for a DVD player the other day. I
do we
guess
have
that
something that plays
I guess that
DVD?
media is coming back,
I
I
love that. We
suppose.
have lots of DVDs.
Yeah.
And, like, old family, like, footage on
That's true.
DVD, like
Burnt to DVD.
yeah.
Remember when they asked us how you burn CDs? They were like, "What do
Yes.
you mean you burn CDs? What does that mean?"
It's a special skill.
Yeah, go buy the blanks, then you hit up BearShare, LimeWire, any of those Napsters, and you make it work. I
Mhm.
found my music the other day, by the way,
Oh,
on a
oh,
hard drive. All my old found music, I'm gonna say.
yeah, I was gonna say obtained
Obtained?
totally legally.
It's what's really funny is that there are a bunch of movie quotes in there. It's just like MP3s of movie quotes
Oh,
and
yeah.
things back when people used to just yell movie
Interesting.
quotes at each other all the time. Hmm.
That
Yeah,
feels on brand for you.
yeah,
I like
it's true.
that. Yeah.
Who are we talking to today?
Joan F.
That's
Smith. She has a book coming out called Your Soul Mail is Attached.
D. Yes,
And
yes.
it is
The premise
a
is
fun
pretty cool.
yeah.
So the premise in a sentence is, and we'll talk about it a lot in the interview. You'll hear about it, but basically everybody on Earth gets some sort of message that tells them who their soulmate is: text, mail, email, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And then you have to decide if you're going to open it or not.
Yeah,
And
what it
do
means to
that.
you.
What
What
does
if
it
you're
mean?
already in a
What if you're in
relationship?
a relationship?
If you're on dating apps?
So
Yeah.
I have to ask you, darling, my one and only, my sweet 20 years
Plus,
married
almost 26.
plus 26 together, darling
Mhm.
sweetheart, would you open the mail if it came to you in an email and says, "Oh, your soulmate"? Let me get the microphone. Okay, continue.
You just said I'm your one and only, so why would I need to open it?
Good answer. Good
I already
answer.
know.
You already know. Jason Momoa's in there. Excuse me? Or maybe what's the Rosanov's guy?
Yeah, Connor's story.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want Connor's story or Ilya Rozanov.
Oh, yeah.
Both.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
It would be
no,
tough
I
to
mean,
decide.
it definitely brings up some good questions of just do you believe in soulmates? If you do, what do you think a soulmate
What is
is?
a
Like,
soulmate?
does it have to be romantic? I mean, I think like the idea of just breaking it down, a soulmate to me is like people who you're connected with on your like journey of life. And, then if you think of like reincarnation, if you believe in that and
Mm,
or multiverse, who knows? Just the idea of there being these souls that you like travel with or
connected to.
connect with in different lifetimes. And so to me, it's like I don't think it has to be a romantic thing. I think you could have a soulmate that's just like somebody that you're connected with or tied to. It
But
could be
my
a
sad, insecure self would think like if you open it up and you see Steve is your soulmate,
yeah.
that you go talk to Steve and you would forget about me.
I don't think I would forget about you. I
Are you
could
sure?
never. I could never.
I guess you could use this podcast like our oldest son to remember us
Yeah, I could replay all our good
posthumously.
conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
But let's dig into it with Joan. I'm
Let's talk
excited.
to Joan. Today, we are so excited to welcome Joan F. Smith to our next chapter. Joan is the author of novels including The Half-Orphan's Handbook and The Other Side of Infinity. She holds an MFA in creative writing from Emerson College and has worked in higher education and leadership roles within creative writing programs and even served as the writer-in-residence at the Milton Public Library. Not to mention the podcast she's got going on, which we may chat about in a little bit. And in all of her free time, she also teaches dance and lives in Massachusetts with her husband and 2 kids. Her newest novel, Your Soul Mail is Attached, releases April 14th from Mira and starts with a wild premise. One day, every person on Earth receives an email revealing the name of their supposed soulmate. Joan, we're excited to talk about the book and the huge questions behind it. Welcome to our next chapter.
Hey,
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome.
Hi.
So happy you're here. I do want to ask first, and I got to know about the dance stuff. I know you're
Yeah.
very busy. You've got dance stuff going on today. Tell me about dance, how you got into it, how it helps your writing, that sort of thing.
Oh, the story is that I wanted a leotard when I was 2, and that's why my family enrolled me in dance. So
That's so
I have been
real.
That
dancing
seems
ever
about right,
since. Yeah.
actually.
It
That's
feels
so
like
real.
a 2-year-old want, and it was fulfilled. So
I love that.
I danced as a minor in college, and then I started teaching at a couple studios after. And it's not full time, but it is a major passion of mine. And yeah,
Oh.
That's fantastic.
That's
It really
awesome.
helps with
All right.
storytelling.
Show her your moves. Go ahead.
Right.
I'm ready.
No,
Go ahead.
that's your
Go ahead, I'm ready.
area, not mine. No, for sure, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Massachusetts and you're still up there. I would just like to know, does that environment, weep into your writing? Is it part of, everything you bring to the story? Are most of your stories set up there?
Yes, for sure. I am a big New England girl at heart, which I didn't really
Love
realize
it.
until probably like in the last decade. I also love visiting California. My brother actually just moved from there. My cousins are out there. And I think if I didn't live in New England, that's where I would be. But a lot of my work is either set in New England or actually Your Soul Mail is Attached is set in New York City primarily.
Mhm.
So definitely a Northeast girl.
Yeah. Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful area, and
Oh
I
my
think
gosh.
there's just so much, whether it's an urban setting or the the
Mhm.
countryside, the beaches. I feel like
Beautiful.
there's so many.
We're in Dallas. It's just hot. That's
It's
it.
all it
It's
is,
hot
flat
plus
and
hot.
hot.
Plus
It is.
hot.
I'm
all
not
the
a winter
time.
girl though, so that is a problem
That's the
because we've had a
struggle.
horrible winter for the first time in a long time. This is actually the first time my kids are like,
rough.
"Wait, this is the winter that you guys are talking about?" And we're like,
This
"Yes,
is yes. This
This
is
is
why
it,
people
yeah.
don't move
This is why
here.
people
Yes,
don't live here. Yeah. I
Yep.
feel like that in the summer here. I'm like, why do we live
Why?
here in the
Yeah.
Mhm.
oven?
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
for
how
sure.
did your journey lead you to Emerson? I feel like that's
Mhm.
such I'm a college and academic counselor in a high school for a living. And so that's such an impressive program, especially for writing and storytelling. And
Mhm.
so I'd love to hear a little about that too.
Sure. My senior year at Providence College, where I was double majoring in English, and then I created this major called social science, which was basically like a study of sociology and psychology all put together.
Yeah.
All of it was because I knew I wanted to be a writer. I knew I wanted to
Yeah.
publish books.
Mhm.
And thankfully I did have the internet at my fingertips already. And I realized that first of all, if I did write a book and get an agent and get it out there, it's a long process. And I probably wasn't going to be a billionaire in writing it right away. Right. So
Yeah.
um,
Reality.
yeah, reality was that I needed to make sure that I had a career outside of writing too. And
Sure.
so my goal was, I was like, okay, maybe I'll teach high school. And then I got my teacher license and I was like, I don't want to teach high school. And then
Fair.
yeah,
That's tough.
right. I mean,
Tough
it's
out
so
there.
tough. And actually, I love my
Yeah.
high school students at dance, but I just don't think I could do it
Yeah.
English
hard.
wise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I was like, maybe I'll be a professor. And so my senior year, I was graduating and I applied to a couple different MFA programs because I knew I needed
Mm.
a higher level degree to teach in
Right.
academia. So I got into Emerson. I got into a couple others, but Emerson was really the one that kind of spoke to me. It's very creative, very
Mhm.
rich, not in money, but in like creativity,
Yes.
texture, detail,
Yeah.
everything.
Absolutely.
And I lived close enough to Boston that I could move back in with my parents for a little bit
Oh,
and
nice.
save that money.
Chef's
So
What a
kiss.
blessing.
yes,
Yes.
for
yes.
sure.
That's the
Yeah.
dream.
It was
What was
great.
the experience like there?
Oh, it
Yeah.
was awesome.
What were some of the highlights for you as far as the program and
you
what set you
know,
up as you came out?
Well, what's so funny is one thing that I think about probably the most is so I majored in fiction, but I took a couple poetry classes too, and then I took a screenwriting course. And honestly, I
Mm.
think more than any other course I took there, that has informed the writing of my books. So there are a
Yeah.
couple different
Yep.
resources out there. There's Save the Cat Writes a Novel is a very common one.
Mhm.
And I think learning and really understanding story shape through the lens of a movie was what made it click for me. I mean, I had sat there and I could recite to you a story arc and I understand
Right.
a 3 act structure
Right.
and I could tell you what it was. But in taking that screenwriting course was the first time that I like felt it. And that kind of sounds,
Yeah.
Interesting.
whatever, but I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, now I really not just could teach it back, but I really understand this.
I am 100% agreed. Like part of the podcast, the things we've done in the past, and we've talked story structure. That's a big part of like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm the bones and she's the heart. And it's
Mhm.
like, I'm always talking structure and
Well, I was like
Um,
a pre-med major, essentially. My degree's in biology, so I was trained in like scientific writing, which
Mhm.
is very brief, to the point, not a lot
Yeah.
of, creativity or anything like that. So
we've talked romancing a beat and save the cat. And,
Mhm.
we've
Yeah.
talked a little bit of movie structure and stuff. And it's funny because when I got my degree, one of my minors was film. And I came home and I told her the story structure of like, okay, well, most movies follow this, and there's at 10 minutes you get the inciting, and then and so now it's like every time she sees a movie, she's like,
You've ruined it.
You've ruined it for me. I can't believe that you told me.
Yeah, I know. I'm a
turns.
horrible person to watch anything with. My husband is always like, please say nothing.
I'm unbearable.
Then
yeah.
If something good happens at a very specific point in a show, I pause it and I look at what percentage we're at, and I'm like, this is gonna end well.
No,
not gonna end well.
Which I always tell him, I'm like, I just watch it for the escapism of it. I just want to enjoy the story. I just want to be in someone else's world.
Story and lights, and you see how that person's always in a red light or behind. Oh
what an interesting color palette. Always.
Anyway.
But that's interesting. I hadn't thought about, because that is part of our history and our story. But I hadn't thought about it now of us as authors going back and watching movies for that purpose.
Yeah.
That's great advice. And I'm thinking like, because I am very visual too. And so I'm thinking like that might be a great way for me to click and understand this, because that has been one of my struggles on the podcast, is understanding story structure and the arc of it, because I have just always been along for the ride when I've read books or watched movies. And so, man, the whole world is being revealed to me now. All the structure, the
stuff you didn't want to see. Yeah.
What is it? The Wizard of Oz, like, don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like I'm seeing now.
Once you're able to predict if it's going to end well or not, it kind of ruins it in a way.
Yeah.
Like a little bit, yeah.
It does.
I was watching,
or even who the villain's going to be.
Yeah. I was watching an episode of Paradise last weekend, and I was, I paused it, and I was like, no, this is too good for right now. So
I have too many unfinished shows where you get 2/3 of the way through and you're going, okay, I know what's going to happen. I don't have another 20 minutes for this.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we need to talk Hero's Journey now that I think about it. We haven't done that.
No.
I think that would be a good one to do on the show.
New episode,
I don't know. You got me brainstorming as we talk about it. You got me excited here.
We need to have a podcast collaboration.
I know, man.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of leads me to what I was going to ask you about. Your first couple books were more on the YA side, and now you're moving into the more traditional, I guess, whatever you call it. Fiction,
adult,
fiction,
adult fiction.
I guess it goes from young to adult. Hello. I guess structurally, writing wise, what's kind of changed for you as you moved into the adult side?
So what's so funny is I never thought about the differences between audiences until I was really in it. So I was always just kind of like, oh, well, I'll write for teens if this idea is for teens, and I'll write for adults if this idea is for adults. I never went into this industry at like, I am going to be a YA author. And a lot of people do, and that is great. And then when I was talking to my agent about an adult book, she was like, oh, just so you know, if this goes, people are going to ask you why you pivoted. And I was like, what do you mean why I pivot? So
adult idea.
It's just a story I want to tell. Yeah.
And that really has been my thing. And I've been fortunate enough that more than one project has sold to more than one audience. But there are so many people out there who are kind of pigeonholed into that one audience and really have difficulty breaking out. So they need to do a pen name for the next thing, or they never do break out. And honestly, a lot of the rejections that I got about Soulmate right at the very beginning, thankfully, it was a quick sub experience.
Good.
We're like, oh, well, this reads a little YA. And my agent was like, it doesn't. So they just think of you as that.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Right.
Yeah. And it
really
doesn't. Yeah. I think not necessarily traditionally, but for a long time, books were always in third person point of view, almost always at least. And the trend has definitely been into first person, especially with commercial fiction. So, and that crossover between first person really does, YA is so first person, unless, some fantasies and stuff like that do third person, but it's pretty rare that you see a third person straight up contemporary in YA these days. And I think that the point of view perspective does tend to confuse people unless they're like really, they understand the goals of the character and that kind of thing, or the storyline. Because you can have teen characters in adult fiction, and then you can have, you really can't have adult points of view in young adult fiction, in my opinion. But
No, I love that answer. And that's part of the reason I asked that question, because I kind of feel the same way. It's like the things that I've created in the past have not been for an audience. It's been like, this thing makes me excited. Oh, it just happens to be this, or it just happens to be
the story
that format or that audience. So I think that's probably my favorite answer so far because I feel the
Okay.
exact same way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you might
Do you wanna tell
run
us a
into
little
it.
bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No, and it's to me, I'm like, I don't care. Like if somebody's like, "Oh, this is YA," I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
Oh,
fine,
so many
okay,
good stories.
fine,
It's just good
cool."
stories. Yeah. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the book?
Sure.
Yes,
Finished
share a
copies
little.
just came in, so I'm very excited.
Oh my!
Here she
Oh, look
is.
how pretty it
Yeah,
is.
she
That's
looks great.
beautiful.
Yeah, she looks fantastic.
So Your Soul Mail is Attached is a story that takes place in our contemporary world. And the premise is that one morning at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Monday after the 4th of July, everyone on Earth receives the name and date of birth of their soulmate. And that is called soul mail. It's a whole worldwide phenomenon. Primarily, people receive them in their email addresses. However, upon doing some research, only about half the world has an email address. So if you don't have an email address, you might get a text message. If you don't have a phone, you might get a telegram. Everybody on Earth receives
Some way
this
or another.
message. Yes. And our main character is named Olivia Adler, and she works kind of background at a news station that would be comparable to like a Good Morning America, Today Show competitor. And she is a reporter, but not like a front-facing reporter. So happenstance is that she becomes the one who reports on this phenomenon, and then she gets associated with being the face of Soul Mail. So then it's just all the fallout of that as told through her lens.
Yeah, and
Oh,
her
okay.
like kind of rising to fame through that, just unintentional found fame, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and not wanting to open it, right?
I know,
She
right?
doesn't want
She's
to
part
open
of
it.
the
She doesn't wanna do it.
resistance.
Right at the top, this is not a spoiler, but she is in mid breakup with her fiance as the book opens as well. So she's got a lot going for her, which is kind of why she goes for this accidental virality. But yeah, so that's
Interesting.
the book.
And I'm sure everybody's asking you the same question, so I'm going to make it a two-parter. One, would you open it? And two, what are some answers you've heard?
Okay, well, I'm going to answer it backward, actually.
Okay. hit me.
In all of my polling, either on my social media or at dinner tables with people, I'm going to have you guess. What % of people do you think would open it?
I'm gonna guess lower. I'm gonna guess like maybe 20 to 30%. It would be my
I
guess.
think it has a lot to do with your current situation, right?
Oh yeah.
Like if you're in a happy, committed thing and you're good, then you might be like, I'm okay.
Blow that
It
up.
might be a
Yeah.
little easier.
Yeah.
But
If
interesting.
that's something you're really seeking, and then you could have an
Yeah.
answer.
I mean, I might have to open it to see if my dog's name is in there, but otherwise,
She's the third character on this
she's the third
podcast.
character in this podcast. No, I'm going to say lower too. I'm going to say
Yeah.
people want to be a little surprised when I feel like they have their own control of their own
Their own
identity.
choice. Yeah.
Oh, prepare to be humbled, you guys, because 80% of people so far, with like a fairly not insignificant amount of people have been polled. So
interesting. Yeah. No, I saw you said that you have a pretty good, like out of 10, you could pretty much say
Yep.
how.
You would
Yeah.
open it.
That's
Okay.
incredible.
Yep.
And what are some of the reasonings and
Yeah, what have you
what is the
heard?
discussion
Oh my
around that?
gosh.
Even people who are in the happiest committed things wonder, right? So you're like, I'm really happy. I've got a great thing going on. But what if I could have a better thing going on? Or
Interesting.
maybe I would just invite this person into my life and then there's multiple of us. Or maybe it's not it's not a romantic bond. Maybe there's another
this is somebody I need to know.
This is somebody I need to know. And then
Interesting.
I think when I started writing this, my answer was I would have opened it. And then by the time I finished writing it, my answer is I don't think I would. And granted, I'm in a good spot with my life, so that does wrap into it. But I don't know. And I think people who are anxious are more likely to open it too, is a theme I'm seeing.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fair enough.
So
Interesting.
yeah, 80, and so it hasn't failed. 80% so far.
That's wild.
That's
You
really
know.
incredible. I am shocked. That did kind of blow my mind a little bit.
Interesting.
Is there a discussion around the belief in soulmates when you ask people this? Do people struggle with just the
Like,
concept
the
of a
idea of it,
soulmate?
the definition of it.
You know, funny enough, no, not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because it's not whether or not you believe in them, but it's more like it's almost like a colloquial
there
thing
was an
now.
answer?
Yeah, and we know what it is, even if we don't believe in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've talked before about, do we think that we're like the perfect fit for each other,
Hmm.
or would there be multiple people around the world that
Hmm.
we could have been happy with, But I'm kind of like you. I'm like,
Yeah.
but if there was confirmation,
Yeah, I mean that's the
Yeah.
question, right? Is love something you choose or is it something you discover?
Hmm.
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 And I m- m- my sci-fi heart goes to like if they magically could get you a note, then magically they could make you fall in love with this other person. So what if you reach out to them and then it blows up your life? See, now that's my
That's the
anxious
book.
piece.
That's
Oh
Yeah.
my
what's
God,
happening.
I'm so
Yeah.
I
scared.
saw too in the discussion
Yeah.
questions of the book of also then the topic of consent of what if
Hmm.
one was a yes
Oh
and
yeah,
one didn't open, or that
that's true.
there are just so many layers of dating apps and current
Totally.
marriages and relationships and things like that. I mean, there's so many creative layers. I love this concept of what you're digging into, and
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
I think it's so much fun.
Very
I
cool.
saw a great quote. I was watching it was just like a Instagram reel or something. I don't know if you watched the show Shrinking on
Yeah, I
Apple
love that
TV.
show.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
She
I'm trying
loves
so
it.
hard to get him to watch it with me.
I need to catch up.
Yeah, I watch
It's my fault.
every episode the second it comes out, but it was a clip of Jason Segel talking about this character of Sophie, played by Kobe Smulders,
Hmm.
and people just talking about this chemistry between them the fact that they've known each other so long. And his quote was something around the fact that he feels like they have created on screen what the idea of soulmates is, of
Hmm.
like these characters on the show are meeting for the first time, but it's so clear that there's some type of connected history. And he said that might be me and Kobe because we've known each other for 25 years and been through thick and thin and things like that. But you feel this with Jimmy and Sophie of like, there's more to this. There's something special here. And I just love that idea of like that there could be a soulmate connection for
Yeah.
them, and that's kind of the storytelling that they're doing on
Mm.
screen. And so I was like, oh, perfect timing to see that quote when we're talking about soulmates and the idea of,
I love it.
have you known each other in a different lifetime? I mean,
Yeah.
that's something we've talked about too, is like, we just felt very drawn
Hmm.
together when we met.
Hmm.
I just felt like almost like magnetized to him. And so we've talked about, did we know each other in
Oh,
different
yeah.
lives? And like you said, maybe it wasn't romantic, or maybe it's just that he was somebody special to me, or whatever it was. But I just think the idea of that, of knowing like, who is this
I
person
wouldn't
that I
have to
might
open
be?
the mail to know your
Oh,
name's in there.
that's
sweetheart.
so nice. Good. We don't even need to know. But I
It's
just
either
love,
you or Anna Kournikova in there. One
he's
of them.
always loved her too. Yeah.
That's been my
Or Alicia
Alicia
Silverstone.
Silverstone.
Yeah, you wouldn't be
She's
sad to
awesome.
see her name too. Yeah,
so funny.
all the things. Yeah,
Um,
it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, the book clearly creates a lot of conversation. I mean, it's exciting stuff.
Absolutely.
What do you hope the readers walk away with? I guess, I want to ask you the question of, I put it down, how do I feel?
I hope readers walk away wanting to talk about it with other people
Mhm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I love a deep conversation more than anything. My husband figured this out way too early on, where we'd just be driving and I would ask him like a random, extraordinarily deep question, or I
Yeah.
talk to my kids about it. I love would you rather's. I love conversation and question. We're so disconnected from one another a lot of times now,
Yep.
just technology and lives are so
100%.
busy, so much busier than they've ever been, and I don't want to live my whole life scrolling, even though I'm victim to all of this as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And like I see it at my studio, teens are everybody is so wrapped up in their phone. And I really would love to have this be a topic that people are like, oh, I read this book, even if the rest of the people in the room don't read it. I read this book. Would
Yep.
you do it? That becomes a conversation and
Yep.
it's a touch point between people. And I just really love that idea.
Mm,
And just gets to the reality
love
of people's true feelings and emotions. I think, like you said, with people being so connected to their phones, they're connected to a fake
yeah,
reality.
they feel like they're connected.
It's a cultivated reality and an algorithm. And so like you're saying, that this prompts real world discussion and just getting at people's true values and beliefs. And yeah.
So if you're watching this
love to
social clip
see
right now,
that.
go read the book.
Yes, put your phone down.
Put your phone down.
Go read the book and talk
find
about
the
it.
book.
Absolutely.
So we're going to play a little game if you're
Great.
game.
I am
Um,
game.
It is called the Impossible Meet Cute for folks out there who have not played with us before. It's very simple. You'll create a character, maybe a name and a trait or a flaw or anything. Then there's no rules, right or wrong. I'll create a character. Andrea will give us the setting, and then we'll smash it together and see if we can kind of create the first 5 pages to the inciting incident of this book that we're going to create. And then
Okay.
maybe even at the end come up with a title,
Perfect.
which is always a fun part. So If you need a second, you may have pre-prepared. You may be on top of it.
I'm good. Do you want
Okay.
to go more supernatural or more real world?
Do you want me to reveal mine first, and then you can decide which one that you
No.
like better?
No.
Okay. My guy is gonna be.
No,
Oh, sorry.
don't.
I'm not gonna say it. He's probably more real world, I guess.
Okay, we can do real world.
But
All right.
supernatural is always fun
I
too.
know. I'm like, that's my favorite.
Well, I'll tell you what my supernatural idea is after. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
Deal.
All right.
Okay.
We've got Esmeralda, and she goes by Esme. And Esme is never able to admit when she feels physical pain.
Ooh.
So she does feel pain.
She
just
feels
can't
pain.
admit it?
She refuses to admit it.
Okay. This is awesome. Okay. So my person, I named them Trevor Stampley, and they're a mailman because it's on theme. But Trevor just has the worst sense of direction, constantly getting lost. He's a mail carrier that cannot get anywhere, and he may even be a little lost in his own life.
Occupational hazard.
I mean?
Okay, yeah, occupational hazard.
Maybe that's his thing.
That sounds like that sounds like a Mike Schur character name.
It does, doesn't it?
Simon. Let's see. So they are going, Trevor and Esme are going to meet seated. They get seated next to each other. So they're both with other people, like doesn't have to be romantic, but they're seated next to each other at like a professional athletic event. So I couldn't decide, is this like a hockey game or basketball, but they end up with the seats adjoining each other, even though they didn't come together. So that's how they.
Well, let me jump in and start and say that Trevor accidentally sat in the wrong seat because he went to the wrong place. Right? He clearly is not supposed to be in that seat.
Sounds very Trevor. Sounds very
wrong
Trevor.
section, wrong aisle, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there, and I think he's still kind of like looking around, like, am I in the right spot?
He always feels lost.
He just he's like, what is it? What sport are we watching?
I was going to a football game.
I thought we were watching lacrosse.
So Esme's there with her sister, and her sister just went to go get some drinks for them. And unfortunately, while her sister's gone, Esme reached her arm up, and the ball came and broke her wrist.
Ooh.
Did Trevor see this happen?
Yes, Trevor's right there. Yeah.
I think Trevor dodged, and he's like, oh, and he wants to help. And he's like, let me take you to the hospital.
Did Trevor try to interfere with the ball, or did Trevor maybe move, and then Esme is the one who got hit because he moved?
I like that. I like the tension.
Is
he
likable? Can we like him if he dodged?
Well, I mean, I think it's like the ball's coming towards his head, and he's like, oh my gosh. And he just, instinctively, like, oh my gosh. And it flies by his head.
Yep.
And she's like, wait,
yes, I agree. At that point, he would have no instinct to protect her. I get that.
It's just instinct, self-preservation.
Sure.
Something's
hitting
me.
But now we have a broken wrist, so he's gotta get. And what is she doing? Is she just like,
it's visibly broken.
It's like this, and he's like,
and she refuses to admit how much pain she's in.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's all like crooked. And she's like, no, this is how it came. I don't know what the problem.
She's trying to play it off.
This is a pending surgery. Yes.
This is definitely a pending surgery.
And she's just still enthralled with the game, and
she's just watching the game.
Where's my sister with my
Where's
drink?
my popcorn?
Yep.
Okay, I think then Trevor turns around. Then definitely
he's got.
And he's like, oh my gosh,
what did I do?
Let me get you to the medic.
What did I do? Let me help you. Are you okay?
She refuses medical treatment. She's good.
She's great.
Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, it's now swelling.
It's definitely swelling.
I love this. Does sister come back at this point, or is Trevor still on the hook for getting help?
What if the sister's from out of town, so she doesn't know where the hospital is?
Yeah, I'm thinking just even in the arena, there's going to be a medical team in the arena.
But I think she's shooing him off the whole time.
She's refusing medical attention.
She's like, no.
Is she striking up a conversation with him then? Is this there?
I think he's apologizing like crazy.
Yeah.
And because he feels so guilty, he insists on bringing her to the hospital.
100%. 100%. And the sister's like, I don't exactly know where this is. And so he's like, okay, let's go together. And I think that starts our journey, journey story of them figuring
traveling together to,
it out. Okay.
I like
Do
it.
they need so let's see. She gets her hand fixed. Does, I'm trying to think. It would be kind of weird for him to offer to be like a helper in that situation.
Yeah, I know. He's just got to get her
No,
there, but
he'll-
that's a challenge for him.
He'll leave because he's there with his cousin who insists on leaving, and then he'll feel guilty knowing that she had to have surgery. So he comes back the next day with flowers.
Yes.
Flowers.
I love
Mhm.
it. Okay.
And she's still like, no, I'm fine.
I'm
I
good.
don't know.
The cat.
I don't know what the problem
all
is.
set.
What
Yep.
is happening?
Yep.
Okay. And that's how it starts.
And then that's how they get to discussing
That's how they get
and
to-
getting
yeah.
to know each other. Okay, I love it. What's the title?
Okay.
Ooh.
The title. Pain.
Where are they? What's it's I know it's a professional event, but where in the world are
I would
they?
think- Oh, good question.
Oh, that's a good question.
Maybe like
Maybe if they were in,
Like-
let's put them somewhere sunny.
I was thinking
Mhm.
like they were the Warriors, like
Oh, Golden State,
yeah, something
San Francisco-y,
coastal, you know.
coastal that way.
Okay.
They could go to the Golden Gate Bridge as a date.
What?
Uh,
Okay.
But I like the idea, yeah, that it was basketball. Because I'm like, it's got to be something, the ball or whatever has to be significant enough to break her wrist if
Mhm.
it were to hit, you know,
Yeah,
if it hit just right.
it hit just right,
I mean,
Andrea.
a
I don't
hockey
know.
puck could do that, yeah.
I am
Oh,
very
gosh.
bad at
Yeah.
titles, so there's that element.
This is the best part. I know. It has
Always
to be
the
a bad
struggle.
title.
The story comes with the
so
title.
there's pain, there's bad directions.
There's Trevor the mail carrier.
Trevor the mail
Who's
carrier.
always lost.
He's delivering.
Oh, yeah, because he's like delivering her to the
What if
hospital.
what if
too.
it's like break set match, something like that?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I see what
Because
you're
she-
saying.
she
Yeah,
breaks
there we
it,
go.
and
Yes,
then
love that. Okay,
Or-
maybe it was a tennis match.
there
or
you go.
something like, yeah, I love that. Break
Ooh,
set
that's
match.
perfect, actually.
Okay. Done. I'm ready
That's
to read it.
perfect.
Okay, wonderful.
See? All right. Well, now you've got your next book.
Right.
You don't have to worry
Awesome,
about it.
On the list.
You can come back and talk about that one.
Thank you
Perfect.
for playing. That
Trevor
was so
Stampley will
fun.
be in it.
I know. I feel like now that we got a little bit of a maybe a small peek into your creative process. Like
Okay.
what does writing look like for you? I mean, what's your ideal setup? I saw that you work best on airplanes, you say,
I work
and
very well
and worst
there.
is without caffeine.
Oh, caffeine is my life.
Yeah, I was gonna say Matt and his emotional support coffee.
Mhm.
Yes, cheers.
Mhm.
But yeah, what is ideal writing setup look like for you?
I am a classic all over the place person. My notes app is my entire brain.
Okay.
I'm sure you guys have heard about the differences between plotters and pantsers and
Oh,
that kind of
yes.
thing.
Yeah.
We
I'm
and
trying to
then
figure out what we are.
the one in between is a plantser. I don't know if you've heard
Oh,
that one
I
yet.
haven't heard that.
Mm.
Okay.
I am a hardcore plotter. I plot to the last
Mm.
detail. But I do give myself permission to deviate from my plan if I think of
Yep.
something better. So I also, unfortunately, I am not the type of writer who will write from point 0 to point 100. I skip around.
Okay.
I write a lot of the beginning to get a sense of the voice, and then I kind of sprinkle in. I try to go linearly, but then if I know I'm like really excited to write either like a big scene or like the
Yep.
end, like I wrote the epilogue to my next book, like probably 25% into the whole process of writing it.
Amazing. Yeah,
So
you just got
I
excited.
bounce
see it, yeah.
around, and if I
Yeah.
ever have like I mean, even though like my outline for my next book is 11,000 words, I think.
Oh my
Maybe
goodness, yeah.
more. Actually, it's more. It's like 21,000 words.
The
So
outline.
yeah. So that it's
Wow.
And that's
it's
the outline
ridiculous.
for break set match.
Yes,
Breaks that
yes,
match. Yes.
yes.
Okay, good.
She already
good.
had it.
I-
She already had
yes,
it done.
That's
Yes.
correct. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, they're aggressive and a lot does wind
Yeah, I
up
love
deleted.
that,
But
though.
if there's like a plot element that I'm not sure about, I will go for a run or a walk or
Yep.
drive in to pick up the kids. And I do a lot of dictation into my notes app to kind of talk myself through it. Again, I love writing on planes specifically because, unless we're
Well,
traveling with the
yeah.
family, in which case, you know,
Right. A little different.
playing
yeah.
that
Handing out
game.
snacks.
But
Yeah.
I can't get up and I have a very low attention span. So I'm forced to be seated. I'm forced to be literally strapped into
that.
a place and then get my work done.
I love
So
that.
I write very well in that setting.
Yeah.
I write longhand
Do you feel like-
sometimes.
Yeah. Do you
Mhm.
feel like plotting to that level, even if it doesn't all make it into the book, like, does it give you a better sense of your characters, your story, like, and motivations, things like that? That's
1
what I'm wondering.
million
Yeah.
percent.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't I can't, I won't anymore try to write a book without writing its synopsis or even like a fake query for it. I've been with the same agent the
Yeah.
whole time and I'm not trying to
Yeah.
leave her. But
Right.
if you can't pre-pitch your book, in my opinion, you're gonna run into more problems down the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's really interesting. This because I've thought about that as well. There are times like my extreme ADHD makes me want to write. I see this scene all of a sudden. Oh, that's
So clear.
75% through, and then
Mhm.
this is 10% through the book, and I just want to put these
Jump
blocks
to
in
that.
place.
Yeah.
Have you ever had issues connecting those dots? Like that would be
Nope.
it kind of it
Not
builds
yet.
its own arc, I guess, in
Comes
between.
back
It does because
together,
you know
yeah.
what you're
Yeah.
writing toward. A long time
Yeah.
ago, I was at a talk with John Irving, and he had said he knows the last sentence in the first sentence of his books before he starts. So he's always
I like
writing
that.
toward the end. And if you know what your twists are, I mean, like
Yeah.
the least favorite scenes for me are the ones to fill in the blanks to write.
Yep.
Those are
Yep.
typically the ones that I have to write the most instead of
Yep.
like the big major pivotal scenes.
That's
Those ones
just
I seem
yeah.
to nail more easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the ones that I don't want to call them filler because nothing is, but those are the ones
Right.
that I
Right.
often go back and punch up like with humor because,
Yep.
You know, make
You wanna
them
push the pacing
interesting.
along
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, then in that case, I would love to hear about your first drafts then. So let's say you get through the process and you get a first draft. We've heard a lot about shitty first drafts.
hmm
Um, how does that work for you? Is it something that you're like, is it 10% done? Is it 100% done? How do you feel about it?
It's kind of a mix depending on the book. I also am a big proponent of writing the draft because you can't revise something that isn't written. But I think too that my outline does a lot of the heavy lifting for me. And that's the thing that I give myself permission to not like artfully create, if that makes sense. Like I can just like tell the whole story.
Yeah.
Which that is definitely helpful. I would say that the bulk of the time, so if drafting maybe takes me, my shortest draft took me 3 months to draft, and that became The Other Side of Infinity. And then my longest draft took about a year and a half, I want to say. And both of those required the same amount of revision. So I don't
Okay.
think that
interesting.
I don't think that there's any like magic to that process. And I also think like right now I'm writing what will be my 4th published book, and that has been a major journey because that was a totally different book before we call it white paging. So I rewrote it from the top. And I'm doing, it feels like a brand new book, and I'm doing the same amount of revision on that I did to Soul Mail.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very cool.
I'm curious too about like the emotional vulnerability of your writing. I know that your first books had a lot to do with mental health and grief and just being honest about those topics. And I think just as somebody in the K-12 space, I'm so thankful to know that those resources exist, and something that I can put in the hands of students and things when they need it. For this book, for Soul Mail, I know Olivia is going on a journey. What was your goal for her? Was there something that you wanted for her emotionally that you were, telling personally through this story, or just specifically for her?
Yeah. Olivia has a traumatic incident from her childhood that does get brought up, but it's almost like, I don't want to call it a ghost story because she did lose someone young, but there's an element of somebody who was in her life for a very brief window of time that is no longer in her life. And she feels the weight of that presence all the time. And a lot of her trajectory has been shaped by that. And I feel like that is partially a sister kind of to my story. So my first book was about the loss of the character's father to suicide, and that is how my dad died. My second book is about 2 characters. That one's a dual point of view, which, by the way, I will never do again. And
interesting.
Yeah.
We're working.
Well,
on
that makes sense. There's 2 of you, but
yeah.
So that one is a male perspective, Nick, and then a female perspective. Her name's December, and December can see everything that has ever happened to everybody in the whole entire world except for one thing. And she has seen that Nick is going to die. So her whole journey throughout that book is trying to save Nick's life. And I had a Nick in my life who died young, and he was 22, and he was one of my best friends growing up. So that book was born from like a what if I could have saved him or anybody.
Yeah.
So I definitely
Powerful.
do take moments from my past or like my learning moments. Like a small thing that I gave my character Olivia in Soulmate is knee pain, because I have chronic knee pain thanks to severing my
as a
ACL.
dancer.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, just something.
I fully blew it out to the point where the first scan they were like, no, it has to be intact because it's not here, and it was literally just on either side of the scan.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
totally severed. Couple surgeries on that one, and
Yeah.
I'll have knee pain
Now it's
every
just
step I
something
take.
that you'll.
Yep,
Mhm.
forever. And it's not something that I think about too often because unfortunately I'm used to it. But
Yeah.
I gave that, like, just little teeny things of my life I give to my characters. She visits a place in the book that my heart belongs in. So when you read that, you'll be able to know where I love to spend some of my summer.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I just appreciate
That's great.
putting personal pieces of yourself. I think that's something we found on the journey. I mean, he has chronic back pain. He had surgery when we were 24, and they told him he had the spine of a 90-year-old. So I'm like, ooh, would that show up in our character in some way? But we've just seen the more we started with these ideas, and then the more we wrote, we feel like the more these characters become like us or take on parts of us. And for the longest time, we thought, oh, are we doing something wrong? But then more authors have said, like, that's just kind of the natural progression sometimes when you allow parts of yourself into your writing.
It is. And I will say, another thing I'm very deliberate about now is doing the opposite. So if I have a quality in myself that I recognize, sometimes I give either the main character or side characters a very opposite one because that is fun to write in a way. And it also, like, even though in my first book we had the shared past, I did very different reasons for the death because I didn't want it to be like, if I wanted to write an autobiographical story, I would have. Yeah. So I think, and it helps you kind of like, that book was important to me to write for not only my own process, but because I think it's important to open up conversations about mental health and what kids go through. And, there's people walking around all the time. You never know what somebody's going through. And that's a big thing.
What they're carrying. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think, did you find that in writing that, like you said, it's a kind of a healing process? It makes me think of the EMDR process of how it helps you kind of step outside yourself and perceive things from different perspectives. Did, by giving characters those opposite characteristics, does that create that challenge for you to think in that way, to see from that perspective?
It can. For sure. Yeah. My next book features a character who is a chronic quitter. And I am not a chronic quitter. So,
I love that.
yes.
Yeah, you
that
stay
challenge.
pretty busy.
That challenge.
Yes.
You're staying pretty busy.
That's fun. That's really fun.
Awesome. Do you want to talk our final five real quick?
I know. Can we hit you with the final five
Please.
questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Tricky stuff.
No wrong answers, just whatever
Easy
comes to
peasy.
mind first. So, number one, open door or closed door?
It depends on the story. I'm totally fine with open door. And I think progressively I'm writing more open door, but in books for teens, I am into closed door. And I also don't think it needs to be open doored. It's whatever serves the story is my final answer.
100%.
I love that. I love that. Sexiest occupation for a main character?
Doctor.
I love it.
Mm.
I think I'll
Smart.
probably say the same. Favorite beverage while writing?
So, picking one is going to be impossible because I think I have 3 to 5 mugs, open glasses at all times. I always have coffee unless it's past 1. I always have water. I'm the most hydrated person I've ever met in my life. And
That's great.
I drink a couple like Waterloo seltzers I like to drink.
Yep.
But I'm constantly drinking something while I'm writing.
Yes, it just depends on the time of day. And Favorite punctuation mark?
The period.
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 Like and what's one word you always overuse in your first draft?
Oh God. Pick your poison.
I feel like this is such a personal, like,
I love
it hurts. Yeah.
That's my favorite question.
Well, I think I have people grinning a little too often. But I also tend to use the word moment a lot, I have recently noticed. So that one I've been trying to strike. I also, I don't know what pulls me to this, but I've used the image of a coat hanger to describe multiple different things, like somebody's shoulders or like the tension.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to not use that because it's like super unique, so I can't use it more than once ever.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Right.
I was gonna say,
Stand out. Yeah.
And then I tend to write, like standard filler words. I always do run a search for before I do anything like the just. I always go through the forms of to be, am, are, is, was, were, be, being, and been, and check those and that kind of thing.
Get all of that.
A lot of that's, yep. And I always write in my drafts. I write whether or not instead of just whether. I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because whether by itself is just either or. So you don't have to write or not.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah, unless you're like me and you spell it wrong.
Well, yeah, that could be a problem.
Gotta search for the misspelled ones
that's always a problem.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for playing Final Five.
You're so welcome
for joining us today.
I was going to say, before we jump, I would love to hear more about your podcast project.
Sure. Yeah. So it's called The Darling Killers. It's with both of my critique partners, Laura Namey and Allison Albitz. And we are, I'm near Boston. Laura is in San Diego and Allison is in Nebraska. And we met online for a Twitter contest once upon a time, believe it or not. And we became very fast friends, and we're all moms. We're all in different stages of our lives, and we trust one another just implicitly with our work. So we've started between us. I think we're up to 14 contracted books. And so when we do a book launch and the stars align, we try to go to them. So people have started coming up to us after the book launches and being like, I love listening to your conversation. Like, you guys are so funny. You guys are like, you can tell there's so much trust there. Cause I'm like shuttling first drafts to these people, or they know my characters as well as I do. So if I have a plot problem, I dump it into our DM and I'm like, help. Like, and they're like, you already said this. You already solved it. You forgot. I'm like, oh, okay. It's a very collaborative process. And we've been on a very similar trajectory. We all got agented within a certain period of time, like a couple months. And it's been just really awesome. So we started the podcast, The Darling Killers, to basically we highlight one topic per show. We're taking questions now if you want to follow us online. People have started DMing us some questions, so we'll do some Q&A. We'll talk craft. We'll talk industry stuff. And it's been awesome. We're really excited.
I love it.
Awesome.
And that relationship and that trust is so important. And, with whether you're doing a show with somebody or writing with somebody or, asking them for support, like having that village to go to. How cool that you're all on similar trajectories in that way and experience, because I'm sure it can be an anxiety-inducing, isolating at times experience. And so how wonderful to have people that you are so close with that you get to experience that.
Yeah.
We will share the link to the podcast.
Oh, please do. That'd be awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's so, I wish that there was some magic to finding critique partners, because to be able to look at somebody's face and say, is this 100%. Trash? And them to say yes is an important thing.
To have somebody you can trust that will tell you the truth. Absolutely. That's incredible.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
And your soul mail is attached, coming out April 14th. We'll be posting all about that too. So we're celebrating with you on Pub Day and all that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, good luck with your writing as well. I can't wait to hear more about it.
Thank you so much. I hope the dance competition goes well today.
Me too. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Good to meet you.
You too. Bye.
That's it. Easy peasy. Done and done.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Joan. That's such a great conversation, and just already creating conversation for us in our house and with friends.
Our minds are linked. We're on the same page.
I know. Y'all are just totally on the same bandwidth for sure. I think you're going to be continuing to pick her brain. I know. I hope that she'll continue to be a source of advice.
The thing that we kept talking about was how she wrote in scenes that
Mm.
she had in her head, right? It wasn't linear necessarily. And I think that's what I need to help with my ADHD is like when I can see a scene, like
Yep.
I can see the epilogue or I can see the ending, I need to write those
Just write it, yeah.
while they're in my
Yeah.
head.
I really like the idea of knowing or writing the end first and working backwards from that too. I think that
Yeah.
that's a powerful thing.
'Cause
Even
you
if
can
it
always change
changed,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
even if it changed over time,
Always change
just
it.
knowing what you're working to towards. Yeah. I like
In
that.
the we had such a great conversation. Definitely go check out our podcast.
Yeah, I've got
Um,
some highlights here. So if you want to go follow her, so her website is joanfsmithbooks.com. But she's on Instagram at JF_Smith, SMIT. Her last name's Smith, so it's Smith without the H on the end. But then her podcast, The Darling Killers, is at The Darling Killers Podcast on Instagram. So I'd love for you to go follow that as well. Give them a listen. Just really cool what they're
and the book
what
comes
they're
out on the 14th.
Yeah, April 14th, your soul mail is attached. So wait,
Oh,
I didn't
wait.
ask you, would you open your mail?
No, darling, never. Wait, is that? I think the mailman. Mailman.
Is it Trevor Stampley?
Hey,
Is he lost?
The mailman's here.
to you, Matt V. Take your mail.
What
Oh,
is
thanks.
this? Your soul mail, Matt V. soul mail inside.
That's weird. Thank you for the letter, Mr. Mailman.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He's a little grumpy.
Wait, why are you?
I would never. I shouldn't open the soul mail. The mailman.
You're
just
not
opened.
even thinking about it, are you?
No. Well, you told me that it doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be somebody I'm good friends with.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Well, why do you even need to know?
Well, I mean, I got the letter. I should probably. Somebody spent time on this letter that gave me.
Somebody spent time?
Yeah. You know.
Interesting.
I should let
You
me
know,
check.
you're not even questioning like where this
Let me
came
think
from,
about it.
like the magic.
That's true. Because I am worried about the magic of it. Because if
Uh-huh.
they're magic enough to give you letters to wherever you are, then maybe when you see your soulmate, magic.
Who
And
knows?
I don't know. But I won't open it, sweetheart, if it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, I will. I feel confident. That's gonna be my name in there.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Let's see it.
Okay, it's going to be your name in
Let's
there.
do it. I can't wait. I'm so excited to see.
Let's see. Oh, it just says,
Thanks.
it says thanks. That's weird.
Dinosaurs
Don't
on
worry
it?
about that part.
Interesting
Let
card.
me see here.
What is this?
Oh,
What is this? Stella. Your soulmate is Stella. Who would have thought?
okay.
What does
Well,
this mean to you?
it means it's official
That what?
that we're best friends.
Uh-huh.
See my baby?
Uh-huh. But I'm your best friend.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Stella. Why did you even open this?
Well-
I feel like we have some discussions to have.
Thank you for joining us on Our Next Chapter podcast. If you want to find more of us, you can find us at our website at ournextchapterpodcast.com. Find us on Instagram, share it with your friends, give likes and shares, and review the podcast. That's it for us, soulmates, you and I.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah.
Our Next Chapter podcast on Instagram.
Yeah, everywhere. Go
The
check us out.
website. Go
Mhm.
check us out. Spend some more time with us. Maybe Stella will be here on the next episode since she's the soulmate.
What do you mean? I don't know.
And go pick up your soul mails attached April 14th. So excited for Joan F. Smith and her first adult novel. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, I love you
And I love you.
as much as
And
Stella.
Stella.
Mm-hmm.
See
I
my
need to talk to that
See
mailman.
my soul.
I'm gonna go
Where's the
for
mailman?
discussion.
Mailman.
Where's that mailman?
He's gone.
He
Oh, he's
doesn't
back.
even exist.
He's grumpy. Oh, there he is. How's it going?
Yeah.
How was your day? How's the weather?
Melly.
the weather is manly.